Welcome into your Tiny Week Ahead reading. I am T from Tiny Divinations, formerly Tiny Cheeks Tarot, coming in to break down the cards for you. So this week we have 3 piles as usual. We also have different hertz frequencies that go with each pile. So pick whatever cards, pile, or hertz draws to you, and I will see you in your reading. Welcome in pile 1 to your week ahead reading. Let's get into your cards. So the first card you have is Good Fortune. This is the energy of your week. The frequencies that go with this card and this pile are 174 hertz, security, and comfort. The cards under are specific things that will happen this week, so we'll get into those in a little bit. Starting with the energy of your week, the Good Fortune card, we definitely have things coming in this week. We have the raindrops, which signifies flow. There's blessings coming in. You may have money coming in. It feels like this is a good week for you to be manifesting, for you to be calling things in, for you to be doing works that call things in, abundance works, things like that. It feels like a week where the energy, like I said, is flowing. So it feels like it'll be positive for most of the week. It feels like good things will happen. You have um, a positive mindset. It feels like people may be like positive around you or bringing good things to you, or good news may come to you this week. So this is some of the energy we have just with the first card. Let's get a few more cards and see what the energy of this week may bring. Okay. Oh. Okay. So we have Good Fortune, which we already talked about, grounded, growth, and fire. So, like I said, the energy of your week definitely has growth in it, right? There's things coming to you this week. There's things that you're able to expand on or have more of. The fire also signifies that there's action and growth and movement and things. And with the Good Fortune, we have positive movements this week in a positive direction, in a direction that may bring you a financial gain, in a direction that feels like lucky, or like you may be on a lucky streak with the Good Fortune and the fire card together. And the grounded card, to me, like I said before, it seems like you can manifest things. If the grounded card feels like being able to actionably have things, being able to see it come to life, or like have something that happens in the sky as above be seen or felt or held in the below, right? And it also feels like you can ground into this positive energy this week. You can utilize that and carry that through your energy for this week, or you can carry that motivation energy through this week, or you can carry that growth energy. But there's a way in which you can ground into the energies that the universe is presenting you this week. So this is what I get for the energies. That was like very quick, very good, very simple. Right on the bottom, you have new life. So again, it just fortifies and validates for me that this is a good week for you to call things in, for you to manifest things, for you to believe that good things are going to happen to you, for you to be open to accepting things, for you to see growth and tangible expansion this week. And in some ways for you to maybe have that be a part of what helps you either look towards what new life would look like, or see how this new life is shaping up for you, if things have already changed for you and you're kind of in the beginning stages of that. But it just adds to the blessings and the manifestation energy and the abundance energy that you have for this week. So let's get into some specific things that may happen this week. So I had already pulled a few cards for specific things that may happen for this week. I wanted to get one card to start us off, but they gave us three. So let's get into them. Our first card is fulfillment of wishes. Then we got patience and material harvest. So specific things that may happen this week, again, like I talked about in the energy, it definitely feels like you may receive money this week. You may receive knowledge this week. You may receive something that you've been waiting on. There may be a flow. So it's like you just continuously get things. You get something for free, then you find money, then you have somebody cash you, then you know what I mean? Like things just happen. It doesn't just have to be finance related, but I say that because of the chest that we have. But it could be growth opportunities. It could be opportunities for like expansion in your mind. He's smelling a flower in the card. So you could be receiving like knowledge that you've been looking for, or like um, some kind of like, it's almost like it may be a situation where you've been trying to tap into something, and then you figure out how to tap into it, or you receive the information that you've been looking for, or you recognize that like um the I don't know, the working that you've been wanting to know how to do, you finally somehow it gets dropped on you or laid onto you how to do it. It's like something like that, where things are just coming to you this week, right? It may also be, like I said before, in terms of manifestation, you say things and they happen. And it's just like Midas touch type situation, you know? But there's also definitely like growth opportunities this week. You have the plant there. And then in the patience card, you also have this plant. So I feel like things can, things this week to expect specifically are, situations where you want to take them, right? There may be situations for people where you get opportunities and it's not even like you really have to think about it. You want to take it, right? Because you know that this will lead to where you want it to go, or that this is like a growth opportunity. Some people may be getting investment tips, and like the tips you get now will lead you to a bankroll later kind of thing. So either like do it, and or don't do it without research, but like do it, or encourage someone who has it to do it, and somehow get in on that or something like that, you know what I mean? But like there's definite growth opportunities this week. So like if you have the opportunity to um take something to better yourself, that may specifically happen this week. If you have something that you've been working on, you may see movement with that this week. You may have somebody want to purchase it, or you may have excitement about what you're doing, and you can see that it will be fruitful or fulfilling in the end. That may also be what this is about, but it feels like either you've been working on something and it's going to be fruitful, or there's something you can start or invest in now this week, or the next 7 to 10 days, that will be fruitful in the long term. Okay. And then again, you have material harvest. So there's so much of this finance, money, currency, wealth energy, right? So it also may be this week that you want to buy a fucking lottery ticket, or you want to buy some crypto, or you want to invest in a stock, or like you want to do something that helps bring you in money. If you like casino, like it just feels like that kind of energy. This may be a good week to look for a job if you're specifically wanting more money. It may be a good time to find something where you find more money. But like you have the good fortune card, and then all of these cards after it with luck, money, growth, um abundance ass energy. So very much in 2 9s and then a 5, this would be. So very much utilize this energy. Whatever you've been doing, it's working. Whatever you got going on this week, your mojo is up. Okay. So like utilize this energy. Don't let it pass you by. You have the ability to draw shit in, or to multiply shit, or to expand it in some way. So definitely do that. Okay. We're going to finish your reading with a word of wisdom for the week. And I'm going to put I always say I'm going to put the decks in the notes, and sometimes I forget. Y'all know. but I'm going to try to put all the decks in the notes this week. We are going to go with the middle. Second chakra, sacral well-being. I honor and respect my body by giving it what it deserves to thrive. I provide myself with the best food, exercise, water, relaxation, therapeutic treatments, and thoughts. I only consume foods, liquids that were designed by nature to be in my body. I stimulate my body's energy flow with exercise. I make time to rest, as stillness and tranquility are vital to keep my mind and body rejuvenated. So, those are your words of wisdom for this week. You have so much goodness and abundance in the outward. I think that this makes sense to make sure that you take care of your inward and you um, think of it as just as rich and like taking care of yourself as you want to be in the financial means, you know? And I feel like all of these things allow you to be rich in mind and body and spirit within being abundant in, you know, the tangible. So pile one, this is your reading for the week. Thank y'all so much for reading with me. If you'd like your own reading, book with me on wildheartbotanica.com. I have a 75-minute reading, and I also have a special eclipse reading for this eclipse season. If you haven't already subscribed on Substack, subscribe on Substack. Listen to our monthly reading. We have our second monthly reading coming up in about a week. So definitely listen to our September reading before that. And if you have another pile, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for reading with me. I'll see you in the next reading. Welcome in pile 2 to your tiny week ahead reading. Let's get into your cards. So the energy you have for this week, the card you have is protection. The frequency that goes along with your pile was 639, reconnecting and balancing relationships. Let's get into the energy of your week. These cards are about specific things that may happen. We'll get into those in a second. So, starting with the energy protection, I feel like because we are in eclipse season, because the energies are high, part of this is about protecting yourself, right? Not protecting yourself necessarily from danger, but protecting yourself from other people's energy fields, protecting yourself from drainage, protecting yourself from burnout, protecting yourself from overworking or being overtired or like just not listening to your body, just protecting yourself in the ways in which you can in terms of taking care of yourself, listening to your intuition, and moving in kind with whatever either one of those things is saying to you. I feel like the energy of this week also is telling you that you are protected in whatever you're trying to do. So if part of what happens this week is that you may like be confused about where to go or what to do, or you may be unsure if you should move in the way that you're being guided, this is validation for you this week when you have these moments that you are being protected, you are always protected, and so you're able to be more sure of yourself or able to move forward knowing that you'll be okay. Let's get some more cards to see a little bit more about the energies of this week. Okay. So we have new life, trust, and message. So yeah, I feel like the energy, and then on the bottom we have divinity. So I feel like the energy of this week is probably either bringing a lot of changes to you, to your everyday life, to your specific aspects of your life, work, relationship, something like that. And or it's a situation where, like I said, you have decisions and choices to make, or kind of like a push to move or go or do, but there's like an unsurety about it, or like a fear related to it, or some anxiety that may come along with it, right? And I feel like the energy of this week again is them coming in and telling you that you're okay to move forward ahead, um, in your desires, in whatever feels good, towards your passions, in whatever way that looks like for you, right? Because you should be trusting that you are protected, because you are, and you should be trusting that where you're being taken, you're being guided, because the message is that you are okay. Like, this is supposed to be the energy of you, but the energy of your week is to know that you're okay. Like, it's very clear. Like, the message is the changes that are happening and or the push that you're feeling is what it's on purpose. It's divinely guided, it's ancestral, it's spiritual, it's celestial, it's whatever, however you believe that to be. Like, trust that the decisions that you're making, or whatever you decide, is exactly what you're supposed to be doing to get you to where you're supposed to be going. Trust that you're okay in the decisions that you're making, and nothing's going to happen to you, because you're protected in whatever you're trying to do and wherever you're going, right? That's the message for the energy of your week, like, very specifically. um yeah. So like I said, the energy of your week may cause you to have faith. It may cause you to be in situations where you need to trust your guts, trust your instincts, to know that you're guided to call on those that protect you if you are in any situation where you may feel unsafe, so that you can be proven to be, safe and protected. And they can show you. There may be situations of change and redirection, um, whether controlled or uncontrolled this week. Or there may be messages about any one of these things. Or you may receive messages that, like, show you that you do have divine guidance, that you are protected, right? You may be able to see that happen. And or, like I said, you may have messages where they're showing you that this is the ways they're taking you, and that way you have the validation of, again, that this is divine and that you're being protected. Okay, so this is the energy for your week, pile 2. That was very strong. I hope that makes sense to you. Definitely comment and let me know. We're going to get into more specific things that may happen for you this week. Okay, so as I was telling pile 1, I had pulled cards. I wanted to pull one card to get us going in terms of the specific things, but they gave us 3. So let's go through all of the specific things that may happen this week. Recognition and reward, rejoice and celebration, and heart chakra. Okay, so some specific things that may happen this week. There may be like promotion type energy. There may be offers for you to either leave your job and go somewhere else, or for you to expand in your capacity in some sort of way. There may be a situation where something you've been working on, either you have the finality or the completion of that, and you and your team get to celebrate that, or there's some way that somebody has hit a milestone, whether it's like you're about to get married, or you're getting married, or you're getting divorced. I just heard in my head, which people have divorce parties now. That's a thing. It may be like it's some kind of they're like there's some kind of life celebrations, like milestones, birthdays, like weddings, um, people may be joining teams or something too. Like, specific things that may happen this week, like you may be joining a new team, or like starting a new like league or something, or getting into a hobby where you're like with other people and you're good at it also. I don't know. This is like specific for some specific people. Anyway, You also may just be getting together with people this week. Um, I know that in the monthly reading we talked and we said like this month we weren't going to be getting out as much as last month, but this week for pile two, it seems like this may be a week where you get out if you haven't been out, or you may be out a little bit more than you have been this month so far. I know we just got into this month. This is the second week, but still. Um, or you may be like communing with friends or like having some kind of like if there's the like I said with the team, there's just like some kind of like camaraderie feeling, this feeling of like, hey, like I'm like lifting people up in chairs and shit. Not literally, but like that's kind of how it feels. There's a heartwarming aspect with the heart chakra card, which may be, you know, like related to the things that were happening. So we're around people. It feels warm. It feels nurturing. It feels comforting. You're reminded of like memories that you've had with these people or like the ways in which you love people or things like that. The recognition and reward that you may receive may also be something that feeds you and gives you something that you haven't been receiving from either the situation where you've just gotten the recognition or reward or something that you haven't been receiving in other aspects of your life. So it helps like build you and fill you in that way. There also may be specific things that we're dealing with in terms of the cards that we had before, with like the trust, the new life, the message, protection, that it's okay to either date or to go further with somebody in a situation or deeper in a situation. And this is for specific situations. If you're feeling good about the situation, right? And what was holding you back from the situation was not anything to do with them specifically, but more so to do with your own like past issues or hurts or things that you bring that like could hinder you from moving fully into a relationship, like not trusting fully and being able to okay, sorry, not trusting fully and being able to open yourself up to dating or love or experiencing new things, right? So this may also come up this week and maybe something that you need to sit with and see how you can open yourself up or move through it. Okay. I'm going to pull a few more cards just to see if there's anything else specifically coming up for your week. Oh, I was going to pull that and then it just went right back in. Let's see if it comes back up. Is there anything else? Moving on. And then awareness on the bottom. So the only other things I may say for this week is that in some situations, there may be some aspects or some situations where you realize like it's time to move on from it. Like where something happens this week that you recognize that this is the catalyst I need to move on, or this is the catalyst I need to start looking for something else, or this is the catalyst I need to start making my way um, to exiting somehow, or you know, something like that. It may not even be, it may be like subtle, like even the leaves falling down on this card, it almost feels to me like it's not going to be like something happens and it's brought to your attention in like a aha kind of way. It's like something very subtle that makes you realize that either this is not where you're supposed to be anymore, or this doesn't align, or it's just the time has run out and it's time to go, you know? So pay attention to the subtleties of this week, and especially if there are things that you've already been sitting with the awareness card, and things that you're knowing that you're supposed to move on from, or you know, end, or whatever it is, then when the thing comes up this week, you know that this is validation, similar to how you got the protection card. Know that this is validation again, because you're being protected. Trust in where you're being moved, and the changes, you know, that are being made. Literally, protection, trust, new life, all within whatever specifically may be happening and calling you to move on from this week with these cards. So this is the specific things that may happen this week. We're going to end your reading with a word of wisdom for this week. As I told pile one, I am going to try to remember to put all of the decks that I used and the notes. Y'all, for real? Come on. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, you know what? Since y'all want to fucking spread. Okay. Fifth chakra, throat chakra. Expressing my feelings. I allow my emotions to be fully experienced. I acknowledge feelings of grief, anger, or fear, and I make a conscious effort to express my emotions or resolve them within myself so that I can move forward freely. I let the unconditional love experienced in my heart be expressed through my voice and creativity. I let those close to me know how much I love and care for them. I forgive all of those who have done me wrong in the past, as well as forgiving myself, as I could not have responded in a more evolved way than I was able to at that time. I really love that a lot. So that is your words of wisdom for the week, pile two. Please let me know how this reading makes sense. Please let me know how this week is treating you. If you would like your own personal reading, book with me on wildheartbotanica.com. I have a 75-minute reading as well as an eclipse season offering. We did the spread over the weekend on my IG. I really love this spread. We did some beautiful readings over this weekend. So you can check out that spread and that reading offering on wildheartbotanica.com. If you haven't already, go subscribe and listen to our September collective reading on Substack. You can also listen on Apple Music or Spotify. Follow me on IG and TikTok, Tiny Cheeks Tarot. I still have not changed the name, but as you can see, we are Tiny Divinations now. We are moving everything over. And yeah, if you have another pile, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for reading with me, and I will see you in our next reading. Welcome in pile three to your Tiny Week Ahead reading. Let's get into your cards. So, starting with the energy for this week, you have the new moon card. The hurts you have that go with this pile are 852, awakening intuition. So, just starting with the energy of your week with the new moon, I think it's a great time this week for you to start new things. The new moon is usually a great time to plant seeds for the starting of things, for the growth of things. So it's definitely, there's energy around new projects. There's energy around change and initiating things and new ideas and creativity and like that kind of energy. Let's get some more cards and see a little bit more about the energy of your week. Oh, okay. Spiritual cleansing, affluence. Sorry. Okay. And then anything else? Power and transformation. Okay. Let me put the new moon actually on the top. So, energy this week. Like I said, there's definitely energy this week to start things, to start new projects, to have growth on things. With the affluence card, I think that there's definitely energy to um, think big with whatever you're doing. You have the affluence and the power. So it feels like there's energy available for you to do it, for you to have the backing behind it, for you to have the skill to do it, for this to be the week for you to have momentum around whatever you're trying to do. Um, and the affluence to me, like I said, has to do with you being able to bring a richness to it, but also have it like be prosperous, whatever you're doing, like to have it be prosperous, to have um wealth or fortune or like prestige come behind it. Like there's some kind of energy, especially with the affluence and the power together with the new moon. There's some kind of energy of being able to have all of that align. There's also the energy this week with the spiritual cleansing and the new moon for you to kind of I don't know why I just heard wash away your sins, but there's an energy for you to like wash away anything that has happened, anything that may have hindered you before, anything that may have blocked you from what you were doing before. It feels like not that just like the roads are open for you, but like there's a way in which you can clear the roads almost like if you were to do um, the road opening or like the blockbuster, then things will start to happen. And there's energy and power in that this week to be able to do that. So it may be literal to do a working, excuse me, like a clearing or a blockbuster or a road opener, something that like helps clear the way to bring in the power of transformation, to bring in the wealth, to bring in the abundance, to bring in the tangible assets. There's also the energy of transformation this week. So again, similar to, I feel like, was it pile one? I feel like it might have been pile one. You might want to watch that one. Similar to pile one, there's this energy of opportunity this week. There's this energy to make shit happen for yourself. There's this energy to call shit in and to see it happen and to have it be very like tangible, to have it be very definitive, for you to be able to make shit happen and that to make real actionable change or lasting change, or for you to be able to see the effect that you have on things. And so I feel like this is some of the energy that is definitely palpable this week, that you should definitely tap into, that you should utilize, that you should see in yourself. That within the transformation, there may be like change energy, which I think also talked about in pile two a little bit. And I feel like the change is within yourself, right? Cleansing so that you can get the bullshit off of you. In some cases, some people need to like just get the muck and gunk off of them so that they can like see the shiny, real versions of themselves, power, right? Transform into the real version of yourself. And there's some ways that people are transforming and recognizing their power or recognizing their influence or their affluence or how wealthy you are in terms of like what you're building or what you have or the knowledge that you have, the wealth that like in terms of the value of who you are or what you're building in terms of your brand monetarily. Like there's all of this energy there this week. So like definitely look around, harness this, see where this comes up, because it's this, you didn't pick this pile for no reason. Okay, let's get into some specific things that may happen this week. Okay, y'all. So as I was telling the other piles, I had pulled what I thought was going to be a card to get us started, but instead I got many cards. So let's get into some of the specific things that will happen this week. Oh, and this is actually out of order. So we first got Love Begins, Throat Chakra, Choose Wisely, and Deception and Envy. So some specific things that may happen this week, it definitely feels like there will be some people dealing with passion projects this week. You'll be doing things that you love. You may be working on things that you love or starting to get into doing something that you love to do. It feels like there's also just this energy of positivity, like things that may happen that are just making you feel good and giving you positive energy and positive thoughts and feeding into that. Within the passion projects or the things that you might do this week, you might overwhelm yourself. So don't try to load up with so many things. It's like if you're like, I love this and I love this and I love that and I love that and I realize I want to do all the things. It's like you can't do all the things. We love that you love everything, but like pick a few things. Don't do all the things. Don't overwhelm yourself. um take it like take it easy in a sense. Okay. It feels like there are ways in which we are pouring into ourselves this week. We're pouring into the things that we're doing, like I said, the passion either literal passion projects or you're just doing things with a different passion this week, you feel more aligned with what you're doing, or you're doing things that just make you feel good, things that you really like to do, things that feel fulfilling to you. Okay. And so if you weren't thinking about doing those things, or if you get the opportunity to do those things this week, definitely do that. Okay. Definitely do that. We also have the throat chakra. So I feel like communication is going to be big this week. There may be ways in which part of what you're doing that you love to do is speaking, and you're like talking about things that you really love, or you're talking with people that you're able to vibe with, or that really understand you. It may be a situation where you're stepping in and standing on what you want, so like within sitting in what you love and choosing the things that you want, you're saying what it is to other people, you're letting it be known, you're uh, just being vocal about what it is. Within that, we have the deception envy card on the bottom. If you have really good things happening this week, you're really have shit moving, or you have good things going for you, or you're getting opportunities, or whatever it is, try not to tell too many people. There may be situations where people around you aren't necessarily as excited for you as you are for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so just some things right now, just keep close to the vest. You know what I mean? There's a power in moving in silence and knowing what you're doing and having people find out in the end kind of situation. It may be a situation with throat chakra over the deception envy where you find out that this is a situation in one of your relationships where there is some kind of deception or envy, and it's a situation that you have to confront, you know what I mean, with words, with communication. um, they may not want to confront the situation, you may want to confront the situation. That may be something that happens, especially like the mask is, yes, hiding themselves, but it also feels like they may like want to run, from the situation. So also within the choose wisely, choose your reactions wisely, right? Stop before you react, and then choose how you're going to react. Because also you've been having you will be having good days, a good week, and you don't want to have this person ruin your shit. You don't want to ruin your shit by allowing them to ruin your shit. So be mindful of that as well. If you're in a situation where you are making choices, and it's like a job situation or somewhere where you're like meeting with people and you're having to make choices, make the choices based off what is most fulfilling to you. Make the choices based off the people that give you the best vibes. That's something specific that may come up for you this week. So these are part of the things I'm getting for some of the specific things to expect for this week. We're going to end your reading with some words of wisdom for this week. So I'm going to shuffle these cards. It's just chakra wisdom cards. I'm going to try to put all of the cards we got, or excuse me, all the decks I used for this week in the notes. So 7th chakra, crown chakra, spiritual awareness. When my mind sways negatively, I remind myself of love, truth, gratitude, and spirit. I am the observer of my thoughts, and I do not let them bring me down. I remind myself to have grace and acceptance for what is, and to have the courage of my convictions. I continually pursue a clearer understanding of spiritual truths behind all that is and all that is unfolding. I ask myself, is what I'm thinking the truth? And is it having a positive or negative impact on my life? I like that. I think that encompasses everything we kind of talked about in all aspects of your week. So let me know what you think about this reading. Let me know how your week is. If you'd like your own reading, book with me, wildheartbotanica.com. I have a 75-minute reading, and I have a new eclipse offering for eclipse season. We did the readings over the weekend on my IG stories. I think you can see them in the highlights on IG if you'd like to get a feel of how the reading is, or you can go on wildheartbotanica.com and see the spread for that. Other than that, if you are subscribed, listen to our September collective reading. If you're not, go subscribe on Substack. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Tiny Musings. playlist. You can also download that. And yeah, so thank you so much, y'all, for reading with me. I will see you next week for our next reading or whatever reading you watch in between.